area and perimeter. Our learning objective is to be able to define perimeter and area, as well as identify the perimeter and area formula for various shapes. The perimeter of a shape is defined as the total distance around the shape. It's the length of the outline or the boundary of any 2D or two-dimensional geometric shape. When you're thinking perimeter, you're always thinking the outside of a shape. Now the area is a little bit different because the area is the amount of space taken up by a two-dimensional figure. In other words, it's what measures the unit squares that cover the surface of a closed figure. So it's the area within the shape. And the standard unit of area is square units. That will come into play when we're labeling our units for our numbers. Let's take a look at our different formulas. For a square, in order to find the area, you're just multiplying the sides by themselves because we know that a square has 4 equal sides. So you're multiplying s times s, or side times side. The perimeter, you have to add all the sides together. For a rectangle, to find the area, you're multiplying the length times the width. To find the perimeter, you can add the length and the width together and multiply them by 2, because we know that with a rectangle, 2 sides, the top and bottom, are equal, and the left and right side are equal. Then we have a triangle. In order to find the area of a triangle, we need to cut the base times the height in half. Now that's because when we look at a triangle, you can kind of picture it as half of a square. So whenever you're trying to find the area, you have to cut it in half. The perimeter is the same as the others, whereas we're just adding up all the sides. As I mentioned before, the triangle area needs to be cut in half because if you take a look at the image on the right, a triangle is just half of a parallelogram. In this case, our parallelogram is a square. Let's practice. The area of a square is side times side, and the perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side. So the numbers that we're plugging in here are 5 and 5. Let's take a look at what that'll look like. The area is 5 times 5, which gives us 25 square units. And if we add up all the sides together, our perimeter is 20 units. Because I have a 5 here, which means this is 5, and this is 5 as well. We know that a square has 4 equal sides. Now we're looking at a rectangle. We have to remember our area and perimeter formulas. And we have our length and our width given to us. Our length is 8, and our width is 5. Let's take a look at what that looks like with the numbers plugged in. Length times width is our area formula, so we have 8 times 5, which gives us 40 square units. And our perimeter is the length plus the width, which is 8 plus 5. And we can multiply that by 2 because we know that the sides are equal, right? The top and the bottom. If this is 8 up here. If this is 5 over here, so is this. So our perimeter is 36 units. Our triangle is the tricky one. This is the one where we have to multiply our base times our height, and we have to cut it in half. Now, this is our base. The base is the bottom, and our height is the 4. It's not the 6. When you're thinking about height, you want to think about how tall it is. If something's slanted, can I really tell how tall it is? No, I cannot. So I need to go with the number that is showing us going straight up and down. So in this case, our number would be 4. Let's take a look at what these numbers looked like when they're plugged into the formula. Our area would be half of 4 times 3. Well, order of operations, I'm going to multiply first. 4 times 3 gives me 12. And if I multiply that by half, that's the same as saying 12 divided by 2, which gives me 6. 6 square units. My perimeter is just adding up all the sides of my figure and I get 13 units. Let's take a little refresher of our perimeter formulas. Feel free to pause the video to write down these formulas so that you can remember more easily. We have the square, the rectangle, and the triangle formula for perimeter, and our area formulas for each shape. And you're more than welcome to visit my other videos on the page where I've been practicing finding the perimeter and area of all 3 of these shapes. We'll see you on those videos.